Chris Jericho won't rule out a WWE return. So Jericho said when he was asked by someone somewhere, I don't know, I would have considered a return to WWE before things changed. Once again, there are two teams you can play on, which is amazing, and it's one of the reasons why I wanted to take a chance and go to AEW in the first place. It was a real gamble. Of course, I would consider going back there to WWE. I would also consider not going back there too. It just depends on what the situation is and what's going on with me at the time. Now, we won't spend too long on this, but Jericho, he started in AEW as their world champion. I think he was their first world champion. And then the last couple of years, he's basically getting chanted at by the fans saying, please retire.
Yeah.
We hate you. And basically, at least for the AEW faithful, Jericho is now persona non grata. And then he ended up becoming the learning tree, being, overly bearingly nice and stuff like that, and he's been doing that for, I hate to say that's because I really liked that when he did that, but now that's sort of run its course as well. And I don't know, how much can Jericho do in AEW before, what's the old saying, Dutch, go away, learn a new hold and change companies or whatever, and basically you've got a fresh coat of paint on you.
Well, let me say one thing about Jericho. Jericho, at one time, one of the best. But I think, and like it all does, time passes us by. And Jericho used to actually get in the ring and say, guys, this is how it's done. But I think, how old is Jericho now?
He's 53 or something like that.
Okay, it's 53, and he doesn't actually he doesn't work anymore. He doesn't work anywhere unless he works on TV and maybe some of the house shows AEW. And I haven't seen his name on any of the house shows. And he says, I would consider going back to WWE. But I think he would consider going back if the money was presented to him. And we'll pay you this to come back. And if it was more than AEW would give him, I think he would consider it. I don't think, and he likes to act like he really enjoys doing this, and he probably does, but his body doesn't. He's to the point now, his body can't take that night after night after night. And WWE doesn't do night after night anyway. They might do 3 days a week and TV.
Not even that.
Well,
they don't even do house shows anymore, pretty much. Neither does AEW. Every wrestler in these companies are part-time now compared to what you were doing even as Zeb Colter.
Well, we were busting our ass. Some days we'd go 6 days a week then. So, and I wasn't even in the ring. And it was wearing my butt out. So I think Jericho has seen his day. Now he either becomes an agent or he helps out with the booking or something like that. Then I think there's a spot for him. But otherwise, as far as in-ring, returning to the in-ring stuff, I don't see it. And I see if he does come back, he'd have to do something really extraordinary, and it's only for a short run. Because I think that by the time you hit 45, and that's stretching it, when you hit 45, I think, your in-ring work is about over. Because, the other guys are in their mid-20s. Of course they can move better and faster and better, and they look better. So, but competing there is, you can't win that race.
There are a number of people who, actually in their 50s and still can go. Like Adam Copeland, I'm sure he's lost half a step and everything, but he still looks really good, still moves very well when he's not breaking his leg and that kind of thing. But I don't think 50, the barrier in WWF used to be 35, and now the barrier is not even 50 anymore. People know how to look after themselves far better. They're wrestling less, in AEW, WWE now. There's a lot more longevity. They can get a lot more. AJ Styles is pushing 50. He looks amazing, phenomenal, if you want to say.
And he still moves, but he is like an anomaly. He's an exception to the rule because, but if you notice AJ, he has great timing, and he's not doing a boom, de boom, de boom, de boom. Of course, when you get older, that's where that style developed. And when you get older, you can't do it. So you have to do something to make it work. Now, I'm saying Jericho can do that, but Jericho's not a big guy. He's like 5'10", 5'11". He might weigh, and he's gotten heavier.
I was going to say he weighs considerably more now than in his.
That's what I'm
heyday,
saying.
yeah.
So, and his interviews are good. I was never a huge fan of his interviews, but his interviews are good. I'm not saying they're not, but they're good. But I think he's trying to replicate his earlier days, which I think is damn near impossible the rest of it.
So your contention is maybe
Go-
hang it up, or if you can go to WWE, do something short term, and before the bloomers off the rose, retire.
That's what I would say. You put it better than I did. Yeah.